Hi everyone, this is Boni from WalkInto. Today I'll be demonstrating how the self-hosted panoramas can be used in WalkInto. Along with me, two of my colleagues have joined, Kulpreet and Chaitanya. Since this software, WalkInto Tiler, that is required to be used to create the panorama tiles, work well on all devices, Windows, Mac, and Linux. We want to demonstrate how to use that on other operating systems also. All right. So the basic premise of what we want to talk about is here: how to get the software, how to get this feature going. What we need is first to have access to the software, which is downloadable from Panohost. That's our the place from where we are hosting it. I'll be showing that in a second. And then there's a little bit of configuration that you need to do to set it up. So that we'll be demoing, and then how to import in a how to use the WalkInto Tiler to create a to process the panorama and create tiles, and then how to set up the host what you have created now on a web server, the things that need to take care of for setting it up, and then importing it into in WalkInto, and then using it in a tool with all the features that you want to use on WalkInto. So this is a brief outline of what we will be doing today. And since it is a Google Hangout, I will just enable back the Hangout, the Q&A bar. The Q&A bar. All right, I have a bunch of questions already. I was about to say that you can use the Q&A panel to ask all the questions. So I'll be taking these questions in between, like when there is a logical break. Mostly since it's going to be a very short demo, I'll be taking it towards the end. I'll take all the questions and I'll walk you through that. Now, first, how to get the software. So Panohost, it is panohost.in. I will just this URL I'll share on the gallery apps right after this. So Panohost has the download links for all operating systems, all popular operating systems: Windows 32-bit, Windows 64-bit, Mac, Linux 32-bit, and Linux 64-bit. So whichever is your operating system, you can download the required installer, and what you will be getting is a zip file. So everybody knows how to unzip a zip file. So what we are going to demo now is how to use this, after downloading this zip file, how to set it up on. First, we'll show how it is done on Windows, and then it will show you how it is done on Mac. All right, over to you, Chaitanya. Can you please demo it on Windows? So what we are seeing here is Chaitanya has unzipped the zip file into this folder, and it is inside that you will find a batch file, start.bat, and running it is as simple as double clicking on it. So this is a Java program, but you wouldn't have to worry about installing Java or anything. It is all packaged within the software package that you're getting. Zip file has all of them. And when you open it up, this is the landing screen of this WalkInto Tiler software. A little bit of configuration that you need to do. Basically, you will be setting up the preferred input folder and preferred output folder, and a copyright text that you want your panorama to carry when you are importing it into WalkInto. These informations you will be setting up on this configuration screen. Chaitanya access that configuration screen by clicking the gear icon on the right top. Pretty standard, there are not many icons over there. So he accessed over there. He is setting up the input and output folders now. Panorama base directory is the place from where we would we'll be expecting the your panos to be accessible. Now, for a certain pano that you want to use in WalkInto Tiler, say it is not on that location, you can just use the browse and go to the right place and then pick it up. Okay, fine. Similarly, tiled file location. So this is where this WalkInto Tiler will be creating the output folder. And max memory, the copyright is important because this is a immutable text data that your Panorama will be carrying all the way into WalkInto, and it will be visible for everybody who is accessing the tool, and it will be visible in the standard location of right bottom where the rest of the copyright information comes up. All right. Max memory in MB, it is for processing large Panorama. For example, sometimes you'll need more memory. So if your needs are to process large images in general, then it is a good idea to give more memory. We start with 512 half a GB of memory. Giving it up to 2 GB should be enough for processing almost all Panorama images. Okay. Thank you, Chaitanya. Now let's take a short spin on how this whole thing is done on Mac. Kulpreet is going to help us with that. So she has the file downloaded and she is going to use her archive utility on Mac to unzip it and create a folder out of that. Now on Mac, now we have unzipped. There is two extra steps that you need to do on Mac. That is to uh, make two of the files that we just downloaded runnable. So to do that, you need to access the terminal and Kulpreet access the terminal from the launcher, from the launch file. She accesses the terminal and terminal comes up and she needs to change directory to the folder where she has unzipped it. Launcher, and she typed on somewhere on the top something very discreet. She's typing terminal, I guess. Yeah. So terminal comes up. Chmod a plus x. This will dot start dot sh. This command makes the start dot sh file executable. So this is a necessary step, and you need to do this once more. This time you want to make Java executable. Java that is just packaged within your within the zip file executable. So that's also done. So steps, I'll just tell the steps once again. You from the terminal, you change directory to wherever you just unzip the folder. In our case, it is WalkInto Tiler Max 64, and there you executed two commands: chmod a plus x start.sh and chmod a plus x jre bin/java. All these steps with screenshots is part of the WalkInto documentation. That is, I'll just show that once. So WalkInto help us has a documentation that covers all these aspects. If you go to the WalkInto Tiler section, WalkInto Tiler section has a detailed documentation covering all different types of operating system. Now Kulpreet is going to start this this WalkInto Tiler to run this /start.sh. All right, so that has loaded up. The same set of configuration that Chaitanya did, it is the exact same screen that you get here also. Pano base directory for preferred location of panoramic images selected. Similarly, the output file location for the Panorama folder. This will have relevance soon when we do the Panorama tiling and showing. And standard copyright text and save, you're done. All right. Thank you, Kulpreet. I'll take it over from here. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. So now what we are going to do is I'm just going to start up the same software on my end, for which I need to quickly do a screen sharing of a different screen. Uh, so when I'm doing this, I will be sharing my entire screen. So that's going to bring up a little bit of a cascade for a second. But don't worry about it. I'll get out of it fairly quickly. All right. Okay. So this is a Linux machine. So this is where I have the software downloaded. So I'm going to run it. Same thing. Same thing as what we saw on Mac. So it loads up the WalkInto tiler. So I have done my initial settings and everything. So this is a one-time task. You wouldn't have to do it again and again. So I'm going to select a panoramic image, a rectangular panorama, and it can be fairly large. I mean, this tiler is very intelligent to manage all these tiles. It opens up and loads a thumbnail image where it also gives you an option to edit the name. So this is important because with this name, you can identify the image when you are importing it into WalkInto. You of course get an option to edit it, but this is a very good place to give it a good name. All right. So the next step, the only step that you have right now is to hit on a tile. So that's going to create a new folder for me with a lot of files within that. So it was created in home boni tiles pano dsc. This is the name of the file _1, because I use the same file in the morning for another demo. So it doesn't overwrite. So now I'm going to check whether that files are there just to make sure that it's good. Yeah. So this is the folder that we just created. So what we're going to do is we're just going to rename it to something else. It is not a required thing. I'm just doing it because I will be using it to upload to the web server just now. All right. So this is our folder, and if you take a quick peek at inside the folder, you can see that there are a bunch of folders. Then there's a thumbnail image. There's some other files. You don't change any of these. It's important. Do not change anything. Every single file within that is important for WalkInto to make sure that everything works fine. All right. So now we have done this part. We have loaded up a panorama. We tiled it and we created a tile set out of that. Now, if you want to go back and create another panorama tile set, you just need to click back and do it. We do not yet have a support for batch processing, which is something that we want to add in the future. But for now, it is one panorama at a time. All right. So in the next step, I'm once again going to be disabling this screen share and enabling back something else. So I'm going to share another part. Okay. Good. So in the next step, that what we want to do is we want to host this. We want to set up a place to host this tiles out. So for our demonstration purposes, and this is what we are recommending also, is to use Amazon S3, because Amazon S3 is extremely flexible. It is easy to configure. It is very affordable. It can be combined with CloudFront to make it extremely fast in a global delivery network. Even if you do not club it with a CloudFront, as long as you are using the right S3 bucket for the right region, your panorama delivery will be extremely fast. Remember this thing, WalkInto has little to do with the speed with which your images load on this particular hosted scenario, because tiles are coming from your hosted environment, and you have all the flexibility to pick the right server that works for you, that fits your specific geographic needs as well as performance needs. All right. So now I'm going to show how to create a new Amazon S3 bucket. So the screen that we were in just before is the landing screen that you see when you log into Amazon Web Services. The links are provided in our documentation, which I will be sharing. At the same time, I will not be walking through how to set up set up a AWS account. All right. So once you are on the AWS launcher, what you access S3. This is the storage place where you create what's called buckets, and you store your files, in this case Panorama tiles that we just created, in buckets. I'm going to create a new bucket. Okay. Walk into, I can give it a meaningful name. This name is important because the same name I will have to use in one of the configurations that I will be doing just after this. Right? I click. So here I get an option to pick the region. If your primary tile delivery need to happen for European customers, it will be best to pick one of the European geographic locations. So this is the geography where your images here will be stored on S3 server. Okay, and I'm just going to pick Singapore and go ahead with that. So once we have a basic S3 bucket created, there are two settings that you need to change. One is the bucket policy, and the other one is course configuration. For both of them, we have the detailed documentation available. Just going to head back to the WalkInto help. If you go to the part 1 of Amazon S3 hosting, so here is where we are, and I just created the bucket, and we are right at the place where the bucket policy need to be added. And the bucket policy snippet it's provided here. You need to make a small change in that, which I will be doing, but I am copying this policy as I am seeing on the documentation. Head over to S3, click on Add Bucket Policy, and paste it. Here, there is a place where we are reading to replace this with your bucket name. That's exactly what it means. So your bucket name is right on top. So you just copy it over, and you get rid of this stupid string there, and replace it with the name that you want have set up your bucket with. Click Save, and you're done. Now the next is add course configuration. So course configuration, this gives external applications such as WalkInto or any browser ability to access the images that are stored in this. And you do not want anybody to give any write access, but you want to give the world read access. Otherwise, your Panorama tiles will not be visible to the world. So to do that, again, we have given the snippet. The snippet is an XML configuration. It is in a different format. So do not mix up these two things. Amazon does take care of verifying the validity, but you wouldn't want to waste time on it. It is very simple and straightforward. You copy the snippet over. Now you are setting up the course, and you replace whatever is there, and you save it. Save the snippet that you just had. Save it. And close, and just for good measure, click Save here. Done. So now, where are we? So what we have done so far is I didn't show downloading from Panahost, but you download the software from Panahost, set up the preferences on WalkInto Tiler. We saw it happening on Mac, Windows, and Linux. We saw the tiling happening on WalkInto Tiler, and now we have set up our bucket, our S3 bucket, and we are getting ready to host this folder on the web server. And we talked briefly about what is course and why is it important. All right. Now to upload files to this bucket that we have just created, what we need to do is we need to get into the bucket by clicking on it and click upload. That will bring us an upload screen where we need to drag and drop our folders that we just created. Now, S3 S3 has a lot of quirks. So there are a lot of S3 client software that is available to upload data into S3. So you are highly recommended to use some of them. We have given a few references here. Third-party software for managing Amazon S3 tiles. For Windows, Cloudberry is good. Mac OS, CyberDuck is good. Linux, if anybody is using Linux, then S3 CMD is a good tool for that. Now, let's get to this folder. I'm just going to copy it over. So what I need is I need to copy over the folder that we just created from the WalkInto tiler, the whole folder. It is not the content inside that. You just copy over the whole folder, and you can see that Pano demo Europe coming in here. It is trying to compute out how much files are there, etc. And at this point, I just hit start upload, and it will start uploading in a very painfully slow upload rate. Maybe you will be lucky and you will be having a faster internet, so it might not take you as much time. Since we do not have time to sit around here, I already have this setup and running. So I'm just going to pick one of the uploaded folders which I have for this demo purpose. Okay. So now what we need, the rest of the things that we need to do is in WalkInto. So I'm logging on to WalkInto. And here we are going to be creating a new tool. And in that tool, we want to import in this Panorama that is hosted of Amazon S3. So I'm going to create a new tool. And now when you come into this tool, you can see that we have a new button here called custom. That's the button of all importance for this feature. All right, we have given it a name. So we are not going to search for anything yet. What we are going to do is we're going to directly import in a new panel. When you hit on custom, what you do see is you see a panel with two tabs. One is a place where you can have put in a Pano folder URL and click import. So let's do that right away. So to get that Pano folder, what I'm doing is I'm going to get back here. This is the Pano that I have uploaded before. So this is a good trick that I do. You click on, you go inside that uploaded folder, and you right click on the thumbnail image and look at properties, and just click on this URL. The URL will open up nicely here. We do not want the whole URL. What we need is the place till the last slash. So I copy this till the logo. I didn't copy the last slash. That's important. And went back to WalkInto, pasted it here, and let's take a look at what I did. So you can see that it's still here. There is no slash at the end. Now you hit import. So at this point, WalkInto is going to query the server and bring back the thumbnail for me to verify. I'm going to give it a name. All right. So now here you see a map icon. This is important. And if the Pano has EXIF information, that EXIF information will be used. If it doesn't have, then you have an option to like specify the Pano location that you want to use. So this map location is important for you to render it correctly on various places. Again, EXIF will be used, and if in case EXIF is not available, then you can always specify it here. Click save, and you can go back, and your Pano is still here. So at this point, let me take a quick look at the browse section also. The browse section will show all the Panorama that I have already imported. So I have a bunch of custom Panorama already imported. There's a nice sort filter names that's available. If I use Europe, you can see that it's the Pano that we just mentioned. I we see that this feature will be popular and these things can be get really big. So filter is useful for you. So if you manage it well and use a standard naming convention, it will be very easy for you to get it out. And you can delete it. You can re-specify the map location if you want to get the URL of what we have imported. We can see it here. So select the panel that you have just imported. This is and click on Open in Editor. So remember that this panel is coming from a server other than Google, so it takes slightly larger time to load up, but still it's not that bad. So it has loaded up fine. So now I'm just going to set this as the starting panel for my tour. I'm going to click Enter, and that's all I'm going to do right now. I'm going to see whether this has stuck. So click on Preview, and looks like it has some awareness. Fine. Just loading it up, and it has loaded up fine, and you can see that it is panning in smoothly. So now next what we want to do is we want to add a tour card to this and see whether that is looking good. Let's add a viewport card, and I'm just going to use a default for it, and we basically want to come up here. So just save it away, and let's see whether that's sticking. So you can see that yes, the viewport card is there. Viewport card is showing and hiding as the right angle moves out. All right. So now let's see that whether this custom panel can coexist with Google Streetview. I'm just going to use our Pegman drag drop to pick up something. This area. Yes, there is stuff here. Fantastic beach is part of Google Streetview, not a photosphere. So I'm just going to add this here. Street View. That's good. And this is our landing panel. I'm just going to add it as another one, custom panel. All right. And now quickly let's take a look at pick up some photosphere. Okay, all right. I think this is the same photosphere I got to use in the other demo also. It's a photosphere anyway. That's all we wanted. So it just opened up the photosphere. All right, so I'm just going to call it photosphere. Fine. So now just for good measure, let's import one more panel. So to do that, I go in here. I'm just going to pick one of the panels that I already have. It's good. So this is coming from a totally different server, from a different location. I believe it is Italy. So you can see that the speed is slightly different. It will load up nevertheless. So you can see the effect of the speed of the server and the geographic location. So this is something to be very well aware of. We do have a suggestion for improving the speed. That is by using Google CloudFront. So if you go here, you can see that we have a entry here called CloudFront. Configuring CloudFront can help you with a lot of speed issues. And here we have an article that is describing how to go about creating a CloudFront if you want to also. So all right. So in this demo, we have covered it's a very quick demo, and where we have covered a bunch of things. We basically created new tiles, and let's see the final results of what we have made before we are jumping back to our conclusion part. All right, the panel loads, panel sticks, and the other custom panel that we have loaded, it loads up fine too. The photosphere that we loaded from Sydney, it is there. So now one interesting thing will be to create a connection from this custom panel to the other custom panel. So currently, since we do not have the chevron arrows here, one easy way to do that is by using scene link. So let's just show that. I'm just going to shortlist this for the purpose of creating a scene link. I'm going to get back to my first custom panel, and I'm going to create a scene link here. And here. I think I clicked somewhere on that. All right, here we are. Okay, so we have created the custom panel and it is jumping over. And similarly, like, we can create a jump back to this panel. How to do that is we just shortlist this scene once again, and we can go back here and let's create a scene link back. So yes, so this looks good. Save. All right, so I'm just going to change the starting to this. Now, if you see the demo, the Italian shutter should load up as our landing panel. Yeah. So now that it is loaded, clicking on this should take us back to the other custom panel that we have. And so this is an easy, quick way to create a navigation between different custom panels. Again, the speed is purely a parameter of the source of server that we are using, and that has no relevance on how WalkInto works on this. Right. So this is a quick demo that is covering almost all the features that we wanted to show today on this feature. Hope you liked it and will find it useful. So now what I will do is I will get out of this Hangout demo and I will see all the questions that are there and we'll take that. Okay. Okay. All right. So I see that there are a bunch of questions. If you have any questions, please use the Q&A panel to ask. Just going to scroll down all the way. Annalisa asked, did the collaboration and work alongside another Google photographer who built the tool for me? Need to do to ask. Okay, do it. Okay. It will be great if we can take this question offline. Please, we'll take this question offline. Basically, if you have have two Panorama that you want to connect in one WalkInto, it is as simple as importing in another WalkInto. It is published Streetview, you can import it in. If it is not published, then you can use the demo that we just used to import it in. Maria really liked it. Thank you very much. Steve liked analysis too. Can I use Google Space to host? It will be very hard to set up the course, and setting up course correctly is very important to make sure that it is important. It can be imported into WalkInto. So I do not think so. You can use your own space. I think there is a way to configure Dropbox for it. Speed should be pathetic. Tim, yes. Tim asked the Hangout will be recorded. Yes, Hangout is recorded. Frederick Frederick asked about what's the best compression ratio for JPEG between 10,000 by 5,000, 90%, 80% or less. So what you should do is you should do it around 90%. We do one bit of compression when the tiler is tiling it into individual tiles. So as you know, it is on a logarithmic scale. The compression degrades on the quality. So anything below 90% will not give you professional touches. So do not go below 90%, even for a 10,000, 5,000 panel. So analysis question again is I think it is about the sales part and the marketing part of WalkInto. Uh, if uh, if this is a concern about how to do external hosting, then I would think that this is something that you package and deliver as a service that you can provide. Bringing Google into picture might or might not work to your advantage all the time. So this gives you flexibility in doing more different types of businesses. So hence, this feature can be rightly used in the packages that you are providing. More information on it will definitely will help me answer it better. I think Maria asked, can Google Streetview panels and self-hosted panels exist before we did the demo? And yes, as we have seen, yes, it works beautifully well. Bill asked about hosting it, and we in our experience we have seen that Amazon S3 hosting works beautifully well when it is connected with a CloudFront. So CloudFront is a necessary integration that you have to do, and once you do the CloudFront, we have talked through the steps on our help documentation how to use that there too. So let me do one thing. Let me pick up this. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to enable this feature once. This gallery is a nice place where I can post in a few links. So somehow it is disabled for now. Oh, I can't change it when it is live. Sorry. Okay, fine. So what? But you all know where it is. I'm just going to put it on the chat window. It is walkinto.freshdesk.com, and it also is listed. It is linked right off our homepage on walkinto.in, so you can use that. In fact, the Walkinto tiler is also right now linked from our Walkinto homepage, so you can use that. So this is what I was talking about. So I was briefly telling about as to how we can do the hosting of CloudFront. So there's an article that describing that there. So that's really useful on how to set up a CloudFront and use the CloudFront URL for importing in Pano. That will take care of all speed issues. Rob asked about the constellation feature. We for the custom panoramas, the way to connect panoramas is by using scene links. Now a scene link can be an arrow, but it doesn't have the same fidelity as the chevron arrows, the way in which chevron arrows moves. So that is not fully possible. So scene links is a working alternative to connect in different panos, different custom panos or custom panos and Street View together. Constellation editor is part of the product roadmap, not yet there. Peter asked about the uploads very slow. So the part where yeah, that is correct. Upload to Amazon S3 is very slow, especially from the web front. what you need to do is you need to use one of the client software. For example, if you are on, let me share this screen one second. So if so, I'm on the WalkInto help desk now. So here you can see that there's an article set called third-party software for managing S3 files. So Windows we recommend Cloudberry, Mac OS X we recommend CyberDuck. These are good quality software that will help you in taking care of different sharing needs, different upload speed needs. Upload speeds will not be still very fast, but it will take its own sweet time, but it will get uploaded anyway. But if you have any alternate hosting platform that you want to use, there's absolutely no problem in doing that either. Uh, we don't have anything that it has to be on Amazon S3. We have a short article that is describing how to enable your web server, for example, Apache, Nginx, IAS, or something else for this hosting. In fact, we have had many examples already of files that are hosted off any other server other than Amazon S3 and still imported into WalkInto. Hi, Ian. How are you? All right, so that's all the questions that I currently am seeing on the panel. Hope the demo was useful. So in this short demo, what we did is we walked through a bunch of things. We started with the downloading and installing from Panohost. We set it up. We tiled an image. We hosted it on Amazon Web Server. We showed it through the web UI, but we didn't show any client UI. We imported in WalkInto, and we connected in a few important features. And thank you very much for joining me today. Any more questions that you have, please write to me at bonnie@walkinto.in. If you are facing any issues on this feature or any other feature on WalkInto, you can log a ticket on walkinto.freshtrust.com, and we will be there to help you out. Thank you very much for joining, and hope this was an useful demo for you. I'm not seeing any more questions, so you all have a good day. Thank you.